Hello.
Hello, Jayatish. Go on.
So can I proceed, Mohan?
Yes, yes, you
Yeah,
have.
please go
If you
ahead.
no problem.
Yeah, you have to.
Please go ahead.
We are
Okay.
eager to hear
Okay.
you.
Okay.
We are fan of you.
Okay. Okay. The major difference between the outboard diagnostic and outboard diagnostic is the how reporting and malfunction is given to the user and driver. I already told that the driver get if you have any problem in car in like in onboard diagnostic, the malfunction will work like
Okay.
MIL malfunction indicator.
Okay.
So in outboard diagnostic, what happened means that error stored in the code, that error stored in form of DTC. You get my point?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hello.
Yes, I'm getting you.
In
We are.
ab in
Yeah.
outboard diagnostic, okay. In outboard diagnostic, the error stored in form of DTC
Mm-hmm.
into the EPROM of our ECUs. We already know what is ECUs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
After the ECU read out by the technician. Technician is nothing but client, that tester.
Okay, brilliant. Mm-hmm.
So in OBD, in in onboard diagnosis, the malfunction is informed to the owner by growing the malfunction indicator light of
Okay.
the of our instrument cluster. We are know that in dashboard we have the instrument cluster,
Mm-hmm.
so we get to know that some problem is happening in this vehicle.
Okay.
But in the outboard diagnostic, it will store in the form of DTTs, diagnostic trouble codes.
Brilliant, brilliant. Mm-hmm.
Uh, However, in outboard diagnostics, such as instant reporting does not happen. But
Mm-hmm.
see, in outboard diagnostic, the instant result it doesn't happen. It will need to test.
Mm-hmm.
So in outboard diagnostic, we can use it like some protocols like UDS, KWP
Mm-hmm.
2000,
Mm-hmm.
like in a keyword based protocol. So
Yeah.
this and so can I give some points in UDS?
Yes, yes, please go on.
So the UDS stand for the Unified Diagnostic Services Protocol. It
Mm-hmm.
is for international standard organization for 14229,
Okay.
and the international it is this is an example of the outboard diagnostic system. So
Brilliant.
actually the UDS is based on ISO 14330, the keyword, and it, so yeah, the UDS is based on the keyword protocol and ISO 15765P. It's nothing but the diagnostic communication over control area network, like DUCAN standards.
Brilliant, brilliant, awesome. Yes, go on. You are
So the
even you are
maximum.
okay. Sorry to interrupt you. I think you are
Hello.
even sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
You are even you have even memorizing the numbers, ISO numbers. I think it is very great. But I think even I didn't do that. But it is very interesting. Go on, go on.
Okay. See, the maximum size of the message supported within UDS is up to 8 bytes. It is like a common can. So, hello.
I am not agreeing with you in this point. Anyhow, go on.
Hello.
No, I am not agreeing with you in this point. Anyhow, you
No,
go
no,
on.
I will explain, please, please.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant.
No, the maximum size of the message, see,
Okay, okay.
maximum size
Can
of supported UDS up to 8 bytes.
okay, okay,
The UDS, okay, let me explain.
okay.
So the UDS protocol uses ISO, that one we call now transfer protocol
Yeah, yeah. I use good.
15762.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 15765, like transport protocol.
Mm-hmm.
3P transfers protocol.
Yeah, yeah,
We,
yeah,
we have we like we send more than 8 bytes.
yeah, yeah,
So in
yeah.
UDS also we can use that ISO TP.
Okay, brilliant.
So Unified Diagnostic Service Protocol was developed to unify the all diagnostic standards that are available previously and make sure that a single. So we are know that J1933 they have some different protocols. So
Yeah,
in our UDS, in the name it contain unified. It our services, we have different services. We united together in one, in one protocol.
brilliant.
That is the
Awesome.
beauty of in UDS.
Yeah.
So the UDS along with the storing diagnostic table code DTCs it are used in UCU fraction. Sorry, plax. UCU placing.
Okay.
I might be confused. Sorry.
Okay. Correct.
So
Correct
like
only. Correct. Go on.
by using for the download sequences.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For using the download sequences, remote routine activation, for
Mm-hmm.
reading and writing the DIDs like the data identifiers.
Okay.
So we can do everything in UDS as you mentioned before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you do some action, so when you do some work in UDS, it is mainly between like client. Client is nothing but tester and server is nothing but ECU.
Bah,
So we need to interact so the client interact with the ECU.
Mm-hmm.
See the client interact with the ECU server, and we get the problem what we have the problem in server that we store in the form of DTCs.
Okay.
We need to retrieve the DTCs.
Okay.
So that the read DTC that will be stored in like active fault, history fault, no fault.
Okay.
Hello,
Yes. Yes. Go on. Go on.
did you get my point?
Yeah. We got
That
all.
error stored like in three methods like active fault, history
Mm-hmm.
fault, no fault.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that by this using
What is
so for using these methods we have the
okay? Shall I interrupt you?
hello,
Shall I interrupt you?
please,
Okay. What is mean by active
please,
fault?
please.
What is mean by active fault?
So the active fault is nothing but you use it that it is a 2 byte like the OEMs use it like 89,
Mm-hmm.
which means that active fault means the recently occurred fault,
Okay. What is mean by aged?
I think I,
which means I think
What is mean by aged DTC? Aged
what is means
DTC.
by
Aged DTC.
so
Aged diagnostic trouble
so
code.
that is the some you're getting that marks. Okay, yes, yes, that marks in details I don't know. I just know what I said.
Okay. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Hello.
Okay. How do you know these things?
So
Like you didn't work in any automotive industry, but you knew all these things. How?
I have some UDS. I have some UDS specification like 114.229.
Brilliant.
So every day I read this one.
Brilliant. It's great.
So I didn't finish it.
Okay.
So can you explain other concept like addressing methods? Can I explain?
Yeah. Yeah. You can.
Hello,
hello, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, hello,
Yes, Mohan. Yes.
but
Mohan. Please
according,
wait. I will.
no, 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 I have small doubt. I am not interrupting you anything. Okay, let me clarify doubt.
Okay. Later you clarify. Please let me finish first.
Okay, okay, then go ahead, go ahead.
Again I forgot all. Okay.
Oh my lord.
See.
Yes, go on. Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Please.
for this, do you know we have some addressing methods.
Okay.
There are the two types of addressing methods. Within the physical addressing and functional addressing.
Oh my
So in
lord.
the physical addressing,
You
this
even know
addressing
about
methods
physical
used to
addressing?
communicate with one ECU.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. You even know
It is
about
nothing but addressing method from a one point. It's point to point communication.
brilliant.
Yeah, that
Brilliant.
is physical.
So for this, no, the tester. For this, no, the client is nothing but tester. The diagnostic request to ECU. That means single ECU. The
Brilliant.
physical addressing, we request only single ECU. So in functional addressing, it is like an point to many issues. It requests the
One to
multiple
many.
issues at a time,
Okay. Brilliant.
one to many.
One to many.
Okay, so this is the addressing methods. What I know,
Okay.
and we have some UDS timing parameters.
Brilliant.
Can I explain this one?
Yeah. 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 Sure.
Yeah, please.
So the RVON define a set of timing parameters.
Okay.
It deals with diagnostic using the UDS protocols. They have some, which means the timings.
Okay.
So actually, the timing parameter are two types, like a session management timing and application layer timing.
Oh my lord. Brilliant. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So in the session management timing, are the basically required when ECU in a session other than in default diagnostic session. But ECU should not be in a default diagnostic. It will be in other sessions. We have three sessions like default session, programming session, and extended session. So in session management timing, the ECU must not be in the default session.
Brilliant.
So in session management system, we have three types timings like a S3 server and like a S2 server. So what is the S3 server means? Is it define the time that an ECU need to keep diagnostic session other than default session active,
Brilliant.
which means it should be
Please go ahead once again.
the ETU should be in active. It is defined as a time that an ECU need to keep a diagnostic session other than default session. The ECU must be in other sessions, not in default session. That time is called a S3 server timer.
Okay. I
The
understand.
tester present used in this case, which is need to.
I will give you some.
Hello?
I will give some additional point on the point
Okay.
that you told. Actually, Mohan, because Mohan is somewhat struggling to understand you. The thing is, usually whenever by normal, normally if you don't, there are three sessions, right? Programming session, extended session, and normal session. Cluster will be in normal session always. Like we flash the software, and then we reset the unit, and then we connected that to the vehicle. We are in a normal session. That means default session. In this, we have only certain permission to read something from diagnostic layer. We cannot do everything. We cannot program. We cannot write something. We cannot write something to the port. Those things are not possible in a default session. The default session is nothing but a normal operation of the ECU. That means it is not in the programming mode or it is not in the write mode. So it is just functional mode. Okay. Then it can go to programming mode when the ECU needs to be flashed. In those cases, they want device to go for a where to this programming session. That means there used to be some heartbeat timer. That's what he's saying, like S3 timer, something like that. There used to be a parameter called tester present. That means whenever you want to flash your ECU, you will move from default session to
Hello.
Programming session. Okay. Yes, go on.
Sir, please give me time and later I will explain.
Okay. So I have to give. Yes, you please explain. You go on.
Okay. See, in this S3 server, the tester present is used in such cases because now the tester present is a 3E service. We need to active. It will be always in active. If you not means it will enter the default section. See, when the tester is in which means S3 server, the extended session will work. Extended and programming session will work. If no tester present, the ECU will back to the default session.
Brilliant.
And another one is the application layer timing. See, this is the application layer timers are basically required for diagnostic application layer, where the handling of diagnostic request for response. We have now, so usually the diagnosis is based on the request and response. This time, the application timing is used for the request and response codes. And in application timer, we have the another divided into three types, like a P2 CAN server, and the P2 CAN ECU, the P2 star CAN server, and P3 CAN server. Hello?
Yeah. We are hearing you.
You get bored?
No, we are not. We are interested. We are listening you.
So, okay. So, what is the P2 CAN server means? It's a refer the time in which the one ECU server should be able to transmit a proper diagnostic response, either positive or negative, to a tester. See, the P2 can server means, so when the tester the requested server, it should be sent either positive or a negative response. So it should not be an NRC 70 response to pending. You know that NRC is a non to negative
Negative
response
response
codes.
codes.
Code.
Yes, yes. So the P2 can server means it should send proper positive or negative. Is not a problem, but you should not be sent NRC 78. NRC 70 is nothing but response too long. Sorry, response pending.
Brilliant.
So another timing is called the P2 star can server. It is that it refers to the time in which the ECU server should be able to transmit a proper diagnostic response, either positive or negative, to the tester after the negative response codes.
Okay.
See, suppose NRC 78 is sending. After the, which means the response is pending. So after the P2 star server will come to the picture
Okay.
after some time. That timing is called as the P2 can server timer. So in UDS, there is a positive and negative response format. So for every positive message, it will add the press 40 for SID, service identifier. So if you get a NRC means negative response code, it we started with 7F.
Okay.
So for every diagnostic protocol, the suppress indicator bit it should kept a false.
Okay.
Which means the bit of, so this bit corresponding to the 7th bit of subfunction. We should be kept a 0. Suppose if you are standing like a programming section that we have a 000 and 1001, that 7th bit we should be a false. It be a 0. That time only that our diagnostic will work.
Okay.
So we have some in UDS we have some parameters like what is SID, subfunction, DIDs and RIDs.
Okay.
Okay, it's better to teach you only. Mohan will get angry at me.
Why you are always pointing Mohan? Whenever you think that Mohan, that is we people will get angry, you will point out Mohan. But no, we are not getting angry. We are really interesting. It is very you gave a rest to my mouth, my throat, my speech, everything. It is very great. But
He
at the
is
same
feeling
time,
that I am competitive to him.
no, I
Competition between him
Oh,
and me.
okay, okay. You are a competitor. Competitor
Yeah,
for Jyoti. Okay,
maybe he is thinking in that point. I
yes,
feel.
but
Maybe I don't
actually
know.
it is not the case. We are really understood many things, but I am surprising a person who didn't even work in automotive industry. He didn't even face a product, automotive product in real time. He knew this much of information about a diagnostic. Uh, but okay, no, I don't think where the things goes wrong. Uh, maybe
No,
I don't have.
actually, I have got one of this UDS 14229 protocol part 2 document from my friend. I have shared to the Jyotish also.
Okay,
So we have gone through that document. So we have came to know these points.
okay. I believe this is very great information that I am really appreciate you people that when
But
you yeah, go on. You want to say something?
one small doubt while Jyotish is explaining me, I have active active fault. He told me.
Yeah.
He told me that in my version, active fault means the DTC is still showing the fault is present. That is mean by active fault. I think
Yes,
so.
yes, you are correct. Yeah, that is what an active fault is. When
But I don't
negative.
know what Jyotish told me. That is the new point I'm coming across it.
Okay, I didn't remember what he told. Actually, the active fault is nothing but a trouble occurred. The trouble is still present. That is what the active DTC is.
Yeah.
The, that is
Yeah.
aged DTC means the trouble occurred, but at present that trouble is not there. It is aged. So it will go to the aged. But the DTC will be shown to you. Like this error occurred, but it is in aged state. There is a number, 7F means aged, like that they have some identification. If that is shown, that number is shown, they will come to know that, okay, the error is active now, so we have to solve the issue. If the error is, if it is in aged, they will see then, okay, error is not available now, but it was logged. Then they will think like, why it is logged.
But one more point,
yeah.
Aged DTC in the sense, if DTC had, if fault has occurred a long time ago, but still it is present because of the age factor mentioned in it. Slowly the DTC will disappear from the DTC without clearing it. That is the age factor plays a more important role. So that DTC will show age DTC. It have some number 7i, I think.
Maybe might be there. Let us see the specs and then we'll explore it in detail. But
okay.
Yeah, that is the thing. You have given some very good that is the boost up to me, so that you minimized my work because you already knew many things. So with that, the point that I am giving you, right, that will help you to polish your knowledge on diagnostics, and will give you a clear identification. We are also going to implement the diagnostic layer for the ADOS module that we took as a project. Okay, so before that, we have to understand the diagnostic basics. There are some acronyms used in the diagnostics. Those are we are going to study now. DIT means diagnostic identifier. VIN means vehicle identification number. DTC means diagnostic trouble code. UDS means UDS diagnostic service. Like that. Okay, there is, whenever you come to a diagnostic, yeah.
DID in the sense data identifier, I think so. Diagnostic identifier or data identifier? Data identifier, I remember. Can you please clarify me?
Like there are.
Yes, DID means data identifier at 23 and 24, right? Data by identifier, right? Data by identifier.
That did like some program they are called as DID, some program they are called as PID. Program data. So it has different names, but the thing is one. They are all meaning to the same thing. 22 and 23. Okay, the 22 is for read, 23
right,
20E for 2E for write.
2E
for write. Okay, so we'll see them in details anyhow, but that's what this is. This is an some views about different acronyms used in UD, that is diagnostics. Then we have something called as tester. Okay, what's tester? The tester is nothing but when you have a diagnostic implemented product and it is coming to the service center, we have a mechanism to request what we want from the ECU using the diagnostic layer. So whenever you want to read something, you will produce, as Jyotish told, functional or physical request. When it is in a functional, you mean you are asking all the issues in the network. When it is a physical means you are asking only the particular issue which is connected. All these requests that are raised from outside the ECU is called as physical request to the ECU. The responses produced by the ECU for each request is called as physical response. Okay, physical request, physical response. The request raised by the tester for all ECUs in the node is called as functional request. The response produced by all the nodes in the network is called as functional response for a functional request. Okay, so that's how it is. So the tester is something like a separate software program or separate simulation, CAN simulation, or a Kano node from which we will request various stuff from the ECU which is connected, and then we will
we will flash sometime, we will read the memory, we will write sometime, we will run self-test sometime, we will write something to the port, we will make the telltales to glow, we will read the sensor, we will calibrate the sensor. Many things we used to do in the diagnostics, but all these things should be done by the tester. Tester is an outside program which is not a part of application of ECU. It is an outside EXE or some sort of hardware or something like that, that is connected to the ECU using the CAN network. So tester act as a node, like other nodes, VCM, DIM, ECU. The tester act as a node to the ECU connected. So it that the primary aim of the tester is it will make a lot of questions to the ECU and get lot of outputs from the ECU in a different session. Some can be read in the default diagnostic session, some can be read in the programming, some can be read in the extended diagnostic session. The programming session is primarily used for programming, and the diagnostic extended session is used for calibration and write something to the memory, and the default session will be used for some self-test or something like that. Whenever, other than, if you are in other than default session, you have to receive a heartbeat signal. They used to call it as heartbeat signal, that is called as tester present. It is a CAN message packet, some 3E300, I believe. So that message will be received, that we have to send that packet periodically with a defined time. They used to specify the time. I think he told, right, some S3 time, some S3 server time, something like that. They used to specify that time. Till that time, for example, if the S3 server time is 5 seconds, means every 5 seconds you have to send a tester present to keep your ECU in extended or programming session. If you start your
Non-default section.
yeah, no. You are in a, for example, you moved to extended diagnostic session or programming session using the session control. There is some request are there in the diagnostics. They are called as session control. Assume you moved to extended diagnostic session. The maximum period that the ECU will be in the extended diagnostic session is the S3 server time. So if the S3 server time is 5 seconds, it will be there for the 5 seconds. If there is no tester present or heartbeat signal is received from the tester, what it will assume means the testing is over. We need not to be in the diagnostic session. So the extended diagnostic session, it will reset to the default session. So it will behave like a normal one. That's why if they are in programming or extended session, every S3 server time, they used to send one instant of tester present message. So it is something like a heartbeat signal. It will postpone the exit of the session from the current session to the default for S3 time, S3 server time. So every, for example, if 5 seconds, it is I moved to extended, and it is consuming the time. It is not 5 seconds now. It will be there in diagnosed extended one. At the end of 4.5 or 4.9 second, I am getting one request. Tester present means it will postpone the postpone the session exit to next 5 seconds. So again, before 5 seconds is expired, I receive another heartbeat. That means next 5 seconds. Like that, they will do it till they flash or till they write something to the diagnostic memory. Once they completed their task, they will simply stop the tester person. It will, when you stop it, it will assume that the testing or and diagnostic session is over. We need not to be there in program or extended, so it will come out. Okay, do you understand the point?
Yes.
Okay. Diagnostic data. The diagnostic data is located in the memory of an electronic control unit, which may be inspected or possibly modified by the tester. Diagnostic data includes analog inputs and outputs, digital inputs and outputs, intermediate values, and various status information. Example of diagnostic data includes vehicle speed, throttle angle, mirror position, system status. There are three types of values are defined for diagnostic data. What are those? Diagnostic session, the current mode of the server, which affects the level of diagnostic functionality. Note, defining a repair shop or development testing session, select different server functionality. Access to all memory location may only be allowed in development testing session. So there are different sessions in the diagnostics. Programming, not default and extended. The programming session only you can completely flash um, the you have access to entire program memory of the this one, the controller, as well as the data memory of the controller. Diagnostic routines. The routines are something called as a function, as we have a user defined function in our CAPL, right? It is set of programming statement to be executed when the function is called. Self test is a routine. When that routine is called, it will write, it will calibrate, it will test all the peripherals of the ECU. For example, driver information module, it has a speedometer, it has a engine RPM meter, it has ECT, engine temperature gauge. So everything it will write some default or some values to the memory. Because of that, the needle will move from lower position to higher position. If you have a lot of telltales, right? He told, right, on board, off board, diagnostic, something like that. Whenever there is a fault in a vehicle which is running, they used to denote them by using warnings, telltales. That means a bulbs, a sort of LEDs glowing in the meter. So those when you run the self test routine, they will turn on all those telltales and will check whether they are working effectively. If while they are testing when they are doing the self test, if they found that a certain LTD is not glowing, it is not they have some feedback loops or something like that. If they come to know that it is not working fine, they will report it as a self routine result. So in that result they will say, okay, this sensor is not working, we have written something, but it is not the output is not expected, something like that they used to tell. So the routines is nothing but a set of diagnostic instruction called at once. Okay, that's how that those are called as diagnostic routines. There is something called as permanent DTCs. Permanent DTC means stored in non-volatile RAM and not erasable by any test equipment command by disconnecting the power to the onboard computer. When you write something, when you call something as a permanent DTC, it will not be erased. So it can only be done if you want to erase those DTCs. Only the tester can do that. Other than that, if you are it is in the vehicle and the error happens and something written as a permanent DTC, you cannot erase that DTC. Okay. Um, like using using any mechanism that you know. Okay, here they have given different control words used to change the sessions. We will write the programs to change the diagnostic session and all those steps. I will, when I teach the OSEC TP, you will come to know all those steps. Okay, now we are going to study different control words used to change the diagnostic session. When you use 110, that is in X, it is used for diagnostic session control request. Okay, so you can use subfunction can be 0 to FF. So which which that is 0 10 is the session request, 00 uh, means default, 1 means programming, 2 means extended, like that. They have a different numbers for each session. So using that, you can enter into any diagnostic session that you want. This is the 10 is the control word to move from one diagnostic session to another diagnostic session. So whenever that this value, that subfunction diagnostic session type, if the session type is 0x1, this diagnostic session enables the default diagnostic session in the server, which means ECU, and does not supply any diagnostic application timeout handling provision. There is no timeout functions from default. Always the cluster by default, it will, the ECU will be by default in this session. There is no timeout for this. The programming section is the next one. This diagnostic session enables all diagnostic service required to support memory programming of the server. So we will use this session only to flash the ECU. The code, that is the software code. When we want to change the software flashed in the ECU, we will use the programming session to do that. If the server runs the programming session in the boot software, the programming sessions will only left via ECU rest. If you are in programming session, you can leave from the programming session either by stopping the tester present or by issuing the ECU reset. It is 11 is a service used to reset the diagnostic session to default. Service initiated by the client, diagnostic session control 10 service with the session type equal to default session or the session layer timeout in the server. That's what, like when you the programming session, that is this one, like module will exit the programming session when you see the ECU reset or you stop the tester present. Extended diagnostic session. This diagnostic session can be used to enable all diagnostic services required to support adjustment of functions such as idle speed, CO value. So if you want to do some sort of configurations or calibrations, you can use this diagnostic session. It can also be used to enable diagnostic services which are not specifically tied to the adjustment of functions. So it is we can also use this layer to enable other diagnostic functions. Okay. Then when you assume you have requested a session control with the 10.0, if the session, for example, you are requesting to change from default to programming, if it is changed to programming, the ECU will return a positive response. The positive response is request plus 40 in X. The positive response is result plus 40X. Okay, so what we requested for session, the 10 is the command you to change to request to make to change the session from one to another. So if there is a change in the session, it will reply back with 50. That is 10 plus 40 is equal to 50. Okay, then it will also say what.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Can I explain? Can I explain why the 40 is added? Can I explain?
Yeah, please go on.
See, in case of UDS for a positive response, the first byte is always SID plus 40, which means our service identifier we added to 40. So for example, you are telling that session, the diagnostic control session is 10. So exact value, the first bit we added a 40.
Yeah.
So the reason behind it lies the fact that the reason behind it lies in the fact that the international standard ISO 14229 mentions so.
Yeah.
This is the main reason because of international standard organization.
Yeah. You are right, 100% right. You are brilliant. You are a star. Okay, I think you are correct. What you say is this is because why they add 40. It is specified in the spec. That's why they add 40 to produce the positive response. Shall I move to the next one, or you want to explain something, Jyotish? Hello. Shall I go to the next?